And we are live again. Hello, people. Good evening to everyone. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. How are you today? On my side, I'm pretty good. And you want to see my face? And my face is here. Hey! Hello. Hi, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depends on where you are in the world. I guess most of you are in Europe or in US. So it can be evening or afternoon for the most, but maybe someone is also in Asia. I don't know. I don't know. So I changed the title. So some of you will say, what? No more part 2022 of random encounters? No, I decided to change the title. But I'm cheating a bit because actually we are still in the random encounters, but we are speaking with NPC, right? And we are trying to make our NPC answer to our questions or any way to say hi, and they should answer back. And at the moment, they are not doing it. I don't know why, but they are not doing it. So, hello, Jerry. So we went, with this introduction, I already scared about 3 people. So we lost about 3 people as soon as I said hello. There is this kind of wave, you know. So when I post the link, people connecting, and then like after when I say hello, or just a few minutes after, when they see my Enkirukai face, they just disappear. They just say, "Fuck this! I'm not gonna watch this." It's pretty funny, by the way. But then it goes up again. So I mean, yeah, I don't know if it really depends on what I say or the way I speak, but it could be, you know, it could be. So I have to be a bit careful of what I'm saying. So for the people that are new and are not following the crazy road that we are following, so the road that we are going is to make some random events, and so to allow the server to generate some randomly generated NPC and events so that players can experience a more dynamic world. And this thing is taking a bit of time because it's a completely new system and it's not easy to do. But I think we are in pretty good shape. We're not too bad into this. We have kind of a list of things and we are doing our list. But now what I find out is that our NPC are not speaking with us unless there is a quest associated to the NPC. And this is not what we want, because actually our NPC are able to speak also without a quest. And so what I was trying to do was to have them speak anyway. Now, from the Unreal Engine, I mean, from the editor perspective, we have a function which is called send menu dialogue something. Okay, so which is the one that is triggering the dialogue with the NPC on the client side. Now this method, though, I've seen that is used only sometimes, and sometimes, you know, there is this kind of check. So it's sending you this message like this NPC has no quest for you, but you might have other things to say. And let me go back to my normal sites. And then it's not sending out the dialogue window, right? And the reason it's not sending it out is because there is this check, you know, if triggers. The problem of this if triggers, I think that is checking if there are triggers in a quest, right? You see, triggers count quest. So I don't think that's the way we want to do it. So I think basically what I think we should trigger our menu, this line anyway. So I should delete this line. But before going there, let me check when in the code we are going through this. Okay, so we will run this. Hopefully there are no errors to fix. Hopefully it's compiling. And we are gonna test to speak with an NPC and see what he has to say. And if we go through this part of the code. I think we should, but you see that it says send an empty message if there are any possible KA. But he's not doing it. So the comment is right, but the code is wrong. So I don't know. Let me just search. Maybe I deleted something. Gem NPC show pop-up menu. Dialog menu, show menu. Doesn't seem to be the same place. When you see the white background is the old code, huh? NPC dialog menu, show menu. NPC dialog menu. We can remove these breakpoints now, I think. We don't need them anymore. NPC dialog menu, show menu. Okay, so it is the same place, right? Let me just check what the old code was doing. Yeah, I was checking for trigger sides, but trigger sides is actually empty. Now the question is, why is empty? You may ask, and I don't have a real answer. So check if quest is valid, check if quest is enabled server side, check if we're not in testing mode, check if the player meets the prerequisite of the quest. But you see, all these triggers seems to be related to check availability. I don't know, it's doing a lot of checks, but at the end is messing up. So that's our issue. Okay, anyway, the server is running. We can connect and try to speak and see how it works. Meanwhile, I can play a bit of music. Let's play a bit of music, boys. Just because we can. And I've seen there are two places actually where that message is getting sent. One is here, so in dictionary CPP, and the other one so one is NPC dialog menu, right? Another one is here, and I have the breakpoints on both. And the other one is APS character show pop-up menu. I don't know if one is calling the other, probably yes. I just need to understand which one is calling the other first, but let's log in and see. Hey Hula, Marcelum, Jerry, how are you guys today? How is it going? How is your life treating you? Good, bad, so-so? We're loading in. I think we will hit anyway the code. Yeah, which is okay. The generation thing. I don't think I need this breakpoint anymore, by the way, and I don't think I need this one anymore as well. But we have an issue. Okay. Fuck. We have an issue which is related to the triggers. Ah, okay. So it's not finding this trigger. Okay, so let's do this. Fuck, okay. Let's comment out this line for a second. And because there is another problem that we'll have to check. It's still related to dialogues and speaking, but it's not something that I want to test now. So I think I will put a bookmark also on this part of the code. Strange though, it should not happen, but obviously it means there is something fucked up. But first I want to fix the standard way. Okay, so I think I recompiled it, is running, so we can restart the client. Niagara from picking 12 tons of apples. Wow. I hope not one by one. Because one by one would be kind of tough. Okay, let's go and see. Let's go and see if we can fix. By the way, I should fix the title on Twitch as well, huh? I should fix the title, my friends. Because I always forget to do it on Twitch, and then the Twitch people getting upset because they say, hey, you don't love us. Why you don't love us? So I'm going to edit the stream info and put the new thing. Hopefully we'll update. I don't know, but saying updated sometimes is not doing it. Okay, we're loading in. Now we will spawn still next to the tavern, but at the moment we don't care about the tavern, I have to say. We will test with another NPC. Okay, our guy's there, which is fine. Actually, we could test it with him as well. Why not? I know it looks weird because the head is the head is totally fucked up. I know. Don't look at him too much, okay? It's fine. So if I click on talk, I want to see where okay, if I click on talk, I go through APS character show pop-up menu. Okay. Do I also go through the other one? No. Okay, I only go through this. Interesting. So we go through this part. And this part actually has nothing. So a character show pop-up menu. Let me see if in the old code was the same, okay? Because I want to understand. NPC show pop-up menu. I want to understand if in the old code we were doing the same thing or we were doing it differently. And so gem NPC show pop-up menu, okay? Let me make it a bit bigger so you can read it as well. NPC response, blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. No, actually no. But is it expecting these triggers to be? The problem is that this triggers is empty, and it will be empty if I don't have a quest. Will be empty if I don't have a quest. Talk interaction. Show pop-up menu. Talk interaction show pop-up menu. I mean, we can search if in the old code we were maybe, you know, we were maybe, if message talk, then show pop-up menu, actor get client. So here we are inside gem, so there is nothing else. Check to see if any responses exist by PID instead of name. Dict find menu, PID name. Menu, trigger, get sites. Yeah, the problem is that this thing will always be empty, so I don't understand. This thing will always be empty. So, or we were loading. You know, we were loading the stuff. It's this thing. Menu, triggers, none. This menu, let me see if it's searching also other triggers, because maybe I'm wrong and it's not just searching quests. You know, maybe it's searching something else. Initial initial pop-up menus. Maybe I'm not initializing the initial ones. What is name? Name is my name? Yes, name is my name. I think I understand probably why then, because this initial pop-up menu probably is fully empty. Let me see. Let's try to speak with him again. Initial pop-up menu is empty. Okay, so in reality we don't have any answers. Okay, maybe in the old code, for whatever reason, those were actually populated, huh? So this initial pop-up menu probably somehow, some way was populated, and now I'm not populating it, huh? Initial pop-up menu. Let me see. Entire solution in the old code. Because basically what we are expecting is that we still get a dialogue popping up, you know, so we still need the NPC dialogue window to show up, and is not. Who is initializing this initial pop-up menu? Initial pop-up menu get string, yes. But initial pop-up menu in my case is empty. Add menu, put unique. Okay. Okay, I think probably there is a kind of an initialization going on at the beginning. I'm assuming there is a kind of initialization at the beginning, which is add menu. No, I want to see who is calling this. There must be someone calling. Store an initial trigger menu with a specified NPC name. Yeah. You see, so this thing. I think it gets populated somehow by the old code, and is not getting populated by us, I think. Pending menu. Why the prerequisite getting copy around the... Well, we are here. We are inside the quest, so this is actually not what we want. So this is not the part of the code that I'm searching for. My webcam is going crazy again. Probably. Wow, no more occurrences found. Real? No, but there must be another... There must be another place where we are populating these initial pop-up menus. I don't believe it. Unless when we do this is adding an initial value with the name of the NPC. It is very strange that initial pop-up menu is completely empty. So what is done here? NPC dialog menu. So, I mean, looking at the code, it seems there is no place where we are doing this, but so strange. Initial pop-up menu by quest ID. There is the delete, so it cannot be here. There is the find, which is trying to get, and it is the one that is failing. There is the one inside add menu, which we just searched for. There is the storage area of pop-up menu menus parsed during the quest loading, which is done before the NPC are spawned. But why is saying only quest loading? It's only for quest, really? If it's only for quest, I have no explanation of how it was actually working. Ah, you did it with the machine, huh? Side, knock it off the tree with a stick. Okay, so let's say that I don't find exactly the way it was done, but let me say that it's fine. So what we also, because we have a slightly different implementation in Unreal of the side menu of the menu, so so my idea is that whatever happens, the point is that this menu will be empty then. Menu, NPC dialog menu. Also offer default choices in case a new quest should be started. This is, I don't understand too much. Find menu name. Menu, add NPC menu. Yes, but this one is the one that fails. This one is the one that has the empty... Yes, exactly. This initial pop-up menu is empty and is not really doing much, you know? Okay, so my take is that we should just... Now, the problem is this will return an empty menu. This will return an empty menu, which is a problem. So this thing will be empty. And this means that check to see if any responses exist by PID instead of name. Dict, find menu. Is the same function. Is the same function. Which is completely empty, by the way. But okay, wait a second. We are testing with this guy, okay? And this guy is not a good guy to test with because he's fucked up by default. So let's try to go with someone else, okay? Someone that actually has responses. So I think that the mail Enki actually has responses. Because, I mean, if they really have zero everything, you know, zero KA, zero... Maybe it's not showing up for that because they really cannot say anything at all. So let's try to test with some NPC that we are thinking he can speak with us, okay? So let me search, so our mail Enki, not here, but here. Our mail Enki is number 4, and okay. Our mail Enki is number 4, and we need the NPC triggers and see if there is a mail Enki. There is not. Okay, because this one were generated, so maybe they really don't have anything that you can say, and that's why they are failing. Let me see if NPC knowledge area we have anything on the mail Enki. Yes, actually mail Enki has general. He has the general area in him. So he has the general area on him, right? So which is this one. So if I go under so in theory he's number 4. He has a priority 10, but who cares? But he has the general area, and the general area is anyway yes, something like greetings, how you, goodbye. Okay, I will disable the webcam for a second because it's making me mad. I will unplug it and plug it again. And the same work. I think I will... I bought it not long time ago. I think I will bring him back to the shop and ask for another one because seems that he's a bit messed up, you know, and it's just making me lose time. And if it's something I don't like, he's losing time. So in theory, he should be able to answer to greetings, how you, goodbye, and about you, right? This guy. So let me try to speak with this guy and see if, assuming that the server is still up. Yes, the server is up. And assuming I can select this guy and speak with him. I want to see if, let me go. I want to see if also for him, this one is empty. Ah, okay, for him is not empty probably. Yeah, for him is not empty. Okay, that's good. So for him, NPC menu is actually containing something. Okay. But I don't know if the return value then is valid. 1 second. Speak with him. F10. NPC menu. No, it's not finding data inside this one. Give me okay. Very strange though. We cannot find. I think the client timed out now. He cannot find triggers of this NPC apart from the one that are related to quests, which is a bit strange. You see that when I restart the web, when I unplug it and plug it again, then for some reason then it's working kind of fine. So I still don't know if it's software or if it's hardware problem. But yeah. So basically he's trying to search an answer for this NPC by name, and he's trying to search it by PID. Right? And unfortunately in both cases he's returning nothing. She's kind of weird though, because this NPC has the knowledge areas, and at least the general should be but it doesn't have anyone on him. Okay. Which is a bit stupid, but okay, that may be the difference, that I don't have any basic answers on him directly. Okay, so what we can try to do, we can add a new set of or we add a new set of triggers, which can be one way, or we just rename him, you know. I'm thinking what is the best way. Do we have any other NPC loaded? Like, do we have the merchant, for example? Because merchant, for example, exists. Let me see if we have the merchant, or we have any other NPC loaded which we can reach. And anyway, this is also good because we are testing some other parts of the dialogue system that I think we never tested. So it's something that we had to do anyway. Hello, Tony. Good evening. So let me see. Do we have okay, the merchant is here for whatever reason, but it's okay. So let me see if I can speak with this guy. No. Also, I cannot speak with this guy. Maybe I messed up some... When I did the changes on the random events, I messed up something on the dialogues, because it's pretty weird that now these dialogues are not working on the basic NPC and they are showing up as empty everywhere. It's pretty strange, because this one for sure has... So maybe what we should do, we should just, you know, close... Even if this one is not actually searching for a specific phrase, it's searching for what he calls a menu, and he's searching it inside what is called initial pop-up menu, which I don't know if it gets populated by... I have a dubbed, but so in the old game, if I have an NPC that has nothing to say to me, but he has like only basic information, can I speak with him or not? Because now, I mean, looking at the code makes me dubbed, you know, that is actually working also in the old game, but I guess as usual in the old game everything works. Let me try 1 second, because I want to see what is going on here. The best will be to debug the old game and but I cannot do it. It's too complex now to have back the... Okay, it's not starting for whatever reason. The old game is not starting. It happened to me already 1 or 2 times that... Is this the right link? Yes. That I was trying to start it and it was not starting. And was giving an error like cannot load VFS something. And then without doing any changes, which was actually at a certain point was actually starting. So I don't know why it's doing this now. I have 2 versions loaded, but it seems that both of them... Let me see if the launcher starts. Yeah, the launcher starts. But then the game doesn't. Okay. So I cannot do that test at the moment, huh? I cannot do that test at the moment. I don't know why sometimes he's doing that. It happened to me already a few times, and I checked the error log, and the error log is pretty weird. It's saying where is that? I see, sorry. Error log txt. Yeah, you see? He's saying fail to load skin. So it is exactly the same error I had in the past. So it's like he's not able to load the... I don't know if it's my antivirus getting a bit weird, you know, and stopping access to some files. Because actually the file that he's searching is obviously there. And it's this one. Right? And there is no problem in opening it. I don't know why. Let me just close this thing 1 second. No, it's not him. It's not him blocking it. I mean, this directory has never been changed in very, very long time, so... It's not been changed in very long time. And... I mean, the only thing that may be is if it's not launching the right exe, but I think it is. Why is not starting anymore? I don't know if I want to find out now, but you know, it happened to me already a few times, and then randomly just restarting the PC, then it works, and it's something that it puzzled me a lot. So let me just check if I do this, and then I try to do I want to see if there is anything set in the environment which is messing up with the... Let me try for 1 second to completely remove the path. So there is nothing that he should try to load apart from the... No. Apart from the actual game. Program data, program files. I don't know if he's going down here and he's messing up with something. Home path. I don't know, maybe there are some variables which are messing up, you know, with him, and I mean, they should not, but no, still failing. He's still not loading. Still not loading. Crystal and Cell are set to the current directory and they are correct. I don't know if it's something in update or no. I don't know what is it, but basically sometimes kind of randomly my old game doesn't start. I have no idea why. I have no idea why. You're getting a be right back screen? Oh my god, why? Okay, sorry. Good evening, Maui. Something happened. Something happened. Okay, I cannot start the old game. Fuck. Can I start in another PC? I think I can start in another PC. Let me try this. If I go here under... You will not be able to see it, but... Okay, I'm on another PC. And I'm launching it. Hopefully on the other PC it works. I don't know why. I mean, it's like if there is something that is prevents him to load certain files. I don't know if there is this Vanguard thing or something else. Okay, I'm logging in on the other PC. I'm logging in as me. And the test I wanted to do is to go to any NPC, maybe an NPC that doesn't have... Let me go to a creature or something like that, but a creature I think will do the same. So if I do teleport me... Let me go to a creature which like 100% does not have any kind of dialogue. Right? So at the moment I'm in the old game, in another PC, and I'm just loading in. I'm teleporting to a random creature. Okay, I have it in front of me. And now I'm trying to right click and speak. No, is popping up anyway. The window is popping up anyway. Even on a creature, and the creature, I tell you, has freaking zero possibility to answer. Right? So he has absolutely nothing that he can say. So yeah, so somehow the old code is working differently, and somehow or this have what they call initial pop-up menu with some values in it. I think that's the way it works. Okay, let's try to do this. Let's try to enable the menu anyway, right? Even if okay, let's try to enable the menu anyway. Okay, so we will just do Yeah, the problem is that this menu is null, so I cannot even call this line, you know, because this menu is null, so I cannot call show menu. I could call this. I can call send dialog menu message delayed, but you know, it is a bit weird. I am tempted to like roll back, you know, roll back to 1 month ago the code and see if it was working or not. Unfortunately, I cannot test it on the alpha version because the alpha version is too... well. No, it's too different now, I think. It's too different. I would like just to understand if I messed up something in these days, you know, and I broke something on the NPC. Okay, let me try something else 1 second. Let me try to do this. When the NPC is getting loaded, in particular our mail key, right? The first thing that we do, we load the knowledge areas. And in the knowledge areas, the merchant, right? Well, first of all, the merchant has his own specific KA. We should be loaded this ones. So he has the merchant KA, and he has the general as well, I think, right? If I go under knowledge area, the merchant has general and merchant, exactly. So he has 2 KA that he should load, right? Now, my feeling is that I broke something and those are not getting loaded properly. So let me see when the server starts up and we are loading the NPC if that is getting properly loaded or not, right? So that should be happening inside I think NPC dialogue when he's loading the knowledge areas for the specific NPC, right? So in theory, we should arrive here at a certain point. And we should... okay, let me see if we arrive here, but for sure we arrive here, because this one, for each NPC, is loaded. So, and we can see for our NPC, which is named number 8, yes, number 8, we can see if we properly load 2 knowledge areas, the general and the merchant. I think this will work. The problem is probably not here, but let's go step by step so I understand what is going on. Okay, so you see that here we got our new area, and he did 1 run, and now he's doing a 2nd run where the area is general, right? And it is for NPC ID 4, by the way, which is the mail key. So he's doing it also on the mail key. And then if we go a bit further, it will do it on all the others on 5. So the knowledge areas are loaded, right? Now these knowledge areas are pointing to, but still we are not filling in this initial stuff. Set up dialogue. Yes, set up dialogue. Find knowledge areas. It is doing the initialize, and then there is a load knowledge areas. We load the inherited key after because this makes them essentially lower priorities and array and NPC dialogue, and we support the ordering. Never order relies on MySQL ordering. Okay, this load knowledge areas. What is doing? Is selecting is the one that we just checked now. So he's doing it twice. Okay, for some reason he's doing it twice. I don't get it too much, but but fine. So this is the setup of the dialogue of our NPC. Add NPC dialogue plugin if any knowledge area are defined in a DB for him. Yes. So this part is working, I would say, okay. So he's loading it twice, but there is probably a reason why. I mean, he's also explained it to us that he's trying to load it. The issue is if force is equal to true, new area name. You see that he's kind of forcing, is adding anyway an area which is equal to the name of the NPC, right? So he's forcing to add it that way, which is good. So we will always have one knowledge area which is equal to the one of the NPC. And it is nice. Now the problem is, so this part is working okay. Now the problem can be, if it's not there, the problem can be when we are initializing the world dictionary. And the world dictionary, when we are preloading, I think it should be I'm not sure if he's here.
One day that wall is gonna fall.
No, it's not here. It's not here, it's not here, it's not here. It's when we initialize the dict. Is when we initialize this monster here. Exactly. Load triggers, load responses. I fear I have messed up something inside of this. I fear I've messed up something here. Because actually I changed it. I changed it recently. And I think I fucked up something. I think I fucked up something.
This can't be happening.
This can't be happening, but somehow it's happening. I fucked up something. I don't know what, but okay. Let me. Let me see if the server starts, right? When we are saying loading triggers, there should be a line saying loaded blah 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 triggers, right? And it gives us the number of triggers that he loaded.
build it strong, 'cause we'll be
Well, actually,
too long.
it's saying loaded 40 triggers and loaded 41 responses. So actually, it seems he did the job, but you know, I touched this function. I touched this function, and I fear I did some freaking mess in it. I did a mistake somewhere. So let me try to stop, relaunch the server, and see if there is something that is not. I can roll back. I think I can roll back these two functions in case, but I would prefer to find the problem, you know, instead of rolling back for sure. He's saying that he's loading the triggers though, so, and the plus plus is done somewhere here, so So here we are in loading triggers, right? And we check if we are loading from the array, which should be false. And then we do the select star from NPC trigger. We check if we get the right result, and we get the total number of triggers, which is 40. And trigger count is just counting. Then we do if it's less than 40, yes, we generate a new trigger. We do load result. I don't remember with this load result if I changed it or not, but probably yes. Load result equal to false, trigger ID. Now here we are loading the trigger. Let me see if I messed up this as well. Yes, I changed this one as well. I changed this one as well. Unfortunately. This is also something that I touched. This is also something that I touched. We can see if he loads properly. ID 1, area general, trigger greetings, prior response -1. Yeah, so it seems that he loaded fine. It seems he loaded fine. Then I go in this trigger ID, and trigger ID is 1. So I basically loaded from the database this line, okay? This one, greetings, general area. So this one has been loaded. Seems loaded fine to me, but now the roll result is through, so we are going through this. Then our new trigger is this guy. I think I didn't change anything down here, so if it works up to there, it should be okay. AdWords, I don't know what AdWords is doing, but I don't think we can debug it because this is pretty complex. So I think we will assume that this thing is just working okay. This thing I did not touch, so it should be fine. Then it's doing find knowledge area trigger area, and basically it's trying to see if the knowledge area exists. And it should be returning true. No, because it doesn't exist yet, because it's the first trigger in the general that we are adding. So in that case, it's adding it to the knowledge area, and then it's checking if there is an equal trigger, and there is not, and so it's adding the trigger. Okay, now it seems this part, at least this part, seems to be fine. I don't see, even if the code is a bit different because I touched it, but it seems to be loading the trigger fine. It seems to be loading the triggers fine. Right? Still, did any one of you participate to the alpha? And did any one of you remember if you could speak with NPC or not in the alpha? That would be an interesting information for me. But unfortunately, I cannot go back in time, but I wanted to know, I would like to know if that was working or not. Because basically it is loading the trigger fine, so I can go through all of them, but it's saying it is loading 40, so I assume it's loading 40. You never tried? Because I don't know if it was working or not. We can check if I did some mistakes here in load responses, okay? Because actually load responses is following the same logic. But you see, load result is true. Response ID is actually valid, is 1. Trigger ID is valid. And so we are going in this part, which is actually adding the trigger. Trigger ID, did I change this one? I don't think so. Here is loading the thing. Is parsing it. Is checking for all the possible triggers. Is pushing the response 1 into trigger 1. Is adding the worlds. Is finding the trigger. Is finding it again. So it's pushing the same response. Yeah. It's working perfectly. This part, I mean, for what I can see, the loading is fine. The loading is perfectly fine. So we have in the database, we have in memory all the answers and all the triggers, and they are loaded properly. So the problem seems to be after, when our NPC is requested to answer, and for some reason there is this initial pop-up menu which is not initialized, right? And that seems to be the problem, because here I would say this part, even if I touched it, but it seems that whatever I did didn't change the way it runs, right? So all of that should be fine. Now there is another place which is inside the NPC. So the NPC is, which is here actually, right? Because here we are loading, yes, here we are loading one NPC. And in particular, we are loading NPC number 4, which is the male Enki. And we are loading his knowledge areas. But considering that all the triggers and responses have already been loaded, what we are loading here is only the association between the knowledge areas and him, right? So basically here we should have for him, so we said is number 4. Okay, is the male Enki. We should have just the association to these two areas, general and himself, male Enki. So what this thing is doing, come on NPC ID. Yeah, he's loading his knowledge areas. He's creating a new one, he's downcasing it, he's setting the priority, and he's pushing it into his knowledge areas. Now this push is, and now we have one knowledge area which is male Enki. So this part works perfectly. There is no problem in this part. This part is working fine. I don't understand how or where, the now, okay, we can look at this, but this is only for the master NPC. Okay, so he's doing nothing else here. And then he's forcing anyway a new area, which is with the area with the name of the NPC. Okay. And that's fine. So all of that is working perfectly. I think there is no problem with that. The problem, we have it later. So we have it when we try to speak with him. So this I think we can run. I can remove this breakpoint. We verified that all the responses and the NPC knowledge is properly loaded by the server. So no issue with that. Now the problem happens after this. When I try to speak with him, it seems that the code is expecting some menu initialized, and I don't understand where that menu is actually getting initialized. I don't get it. So it seems that when I speak with him, right here, and we are calling this show menu thing, I'm checking. I think there is something before this though that we do. There is something before, because here we are already trying to show a menu. Let me try to go one step. Let me try to speak with him, but we will try to go one step before this, okay? Because I think the problem is before this. It's not in the server startup. Is when we speak with this guy. Is when we speak with this guy. Okay, so if I try to click on him and say talk, we arrive here, right? I need to understand where we are coming from, right? We are coming from talk interaction. Talk interaction is doing what? Talk interaction is doing, I don't want the client to time out, so I let it go. Talk interaction is this one. So talk interaction is basically the client asking to speak to the server. So there is no code happening here, right? So it's just setting the target object and it's calling show pop-up menu. Nothing else. And in the old code, we have seen that there was a similar thing, right? Which was a kind of a talk interaction as well. Which I think it was in user manager or something. Show NPC menu. Show NPC menu. Which is calling the show pop-up menu. Which is calling get assigned quests. Okay, and this thing I think is the thing that is the same code that we have on the other side, right? So I think this show pop-up menu is the same one. So we are under PS character and we are calling show pop-up menu. And yes, you see the code is the same. So it's getting the assigned quest, and also in the old code is getting the assigned quest. So it's the same thing, right? In this case will be 0. We have no quest on this guy, which I think is okay. Merge the current spot, blah blah blah. So I don't even know if we have quest. I think I can check. Let me try to speak with him again. Do we have quests? No, we have 0 quests. So this part of the code will not be executed, right? So this block will be skipped because we have 0 quest. Okay, and it's fine. And it's fine. There is this comment which is a bit weird, but okay. So he's adding something to the menu. Response menu. Anyway, obviously if we have a quest, we can test with a quest. We can test with a quest and see if it works, at least for the ones for the quest. But I think in that case probably it will. It will probably work for the quests. Then we go here and you see this comment. This is the comment that is the most important one, because it's saying also offer default choices in case a new quest should be started, which I don't understand exactly in your case what it means, but it seems to say if you failed, in searching the quest answer, then provide something as a basis. And it is where I start to lose the understanding of what it's doing, because it's going in our main dictionary. This dictionary is containing all the responses, all the triggers for every possible NPC in the game, right? So it's like our full dictionary, and it's trying to find if there is anything defined for this guy, right? And unfortunately in our case the answer is 0, right? The answer is 0. It should not be 0. So what is this function doing? Is checking this initial pop-up menus, right? And here is searching and is finding nothing. Now the question is this initial pop-up menu wait a second, is the dict the global one, or is... Yes, is the global one. Is the global one. So here I need to find something. I mean, it's impossible that array is completely empty. It's impossible, but it is. I'm checking that thing. I'm checking this thing. I know it's not empty, okay. It's not empty, but it doesn't find data for our NPC. But it's not empty, okay, which at least is a good thing. So it's not empty, so it contains stuff, but is not finding anything for our NPC. Right? So the question is, okay, with the question that I had half an hour ago, how is this populated, right? How is this populated? It should have been populated with, I don't know, what is this initial pop-up menu? If there was a freaking comment telling me. Because this should be... okay. But you see that initial pop-up menu is saying this is the storage area for pop-up menu parsed during the quest loading, which is done before NPC are spawned. So it really seems that this thing is related to quest. But the problem is that if that is related to quest, then this NPC will never freaking answer, because he also has answers outside of quests. So basically this will return null, this one will return null, and our overall menu is already null, so we don't get freaking anything out of this. NPC menu is null. Menu has empty triggers. It's not null, but he has empty triggers. Because it's this one. It's been initialized here, so... And so we get... obviously we get nothing. So I don't understand if the comment here is true that... check to see if any responses exist by PID instead of name. But it's using the same function, so... And the PID is correct anyway, because his number... let me just check that the PID is correct, but I think it's correct. The PID is 8. So the PID is correct, is 8. The PID is 8. This thing is a mystery, boys. It's a mystery. I think the only way for me will be to debug the old game, but it's a bit annoying to do it. I could do it, but it's a bit annoying to do. I would like to avoid it if possible. But you see that in this case, I mean in the old game, is anyway going here, right? In the if I have opened the old game on the other PC. And in the old game, when I speak with a monster, so which obviously is not able to speak, well maybe he could, but he's not able to speak. And I right click on him assuming I'm close enough. And I speak. Actually, I get the same message. This is what is making me mad. We get the same message. So also in the old game we get this, but in the old game we still see the interact window. So I think we are cheating there, and we are opening it anyway client side. Yeah, I think this is what we are doing. I think this is what we are doing. I think we are opening it anyway client side. Because there is no other explanation, Because this code, I checked it line by line, and this code is not giving you any answer. There is no way. I mean, this is only for quests. So this means that when you click on the talk interaction, okay, when you click on the talk interaction, even if you have no quests, right? The thing is popping up anyway. And then if you have quest, the bubbles with the quest are added on top of the existing thing. I think this is how it works. I think this is how it's not explained anywhere, but I think this is how it works. It's the only explanation. So you know what? We will do the same. We will do exactly the same. So as soon as I click here, I will open anyway the interact window, the talk window. I will open it anyway, and then the server will do all the checks and all that stuff and will send me the information if there are quests available as well, and it will add it to the existing window. Because actually I think that when we receive this stuff, show menu, I think we are checking if it's already open. If it's already open, we're just adding the new ones. Yes. I think that is the way it is, boys. I think that is the way it is. But I need to put a comment here, otherwise I will never understand it again. So what we will say, we assume that on the client side, the NPC talk window is opened anyway, to be used with the natural language, whatever, with the free text, to be used with the free text. When the server detects some quests, those will be added on top. Those will be added to the same to the same window, even if already open. I think that is the answer, boys, because there is no other possibility. So to answer the question, were the NPCs speaking in the alpha? I think no. They were speaking only if they had quest. If they had no quest, it was not possible to open the window. Okay, so how do we fix it? I think that this case is pretty simple, because if it's only that, oops, I opened something else. If it's only that, we just open the window when we click on talk interaction. Even if, well, there are some things to consider, because when I speak with an NPC, I actually change the camera, I do a bit of stuff. Let me just see when we receive the show menu, actually. So when there are quests, we are going to do this, send dialog message, whatever. And the send message menu delayed is actually here and is calling receive dialog menu message. Okay, so receive dialog menu message is the one that we want to check, which is this one. Yeah, and you see he's checking if it's already visible, so he's able to, you know, receive data also if the window is already open and somehow populated. So I think we can call this one. No, we can call this one, I think, because this one, the setup for new NPC. Change camera to talk position, yeah. Exactly. How does it decide that it is a new NPC? Is visible. Based on the fact if the window is visible or not. The only issue is that we will be setting the dialog menu message to empty. But I think it's okay. I mean, this one will happen anyway before the server is answering us. Hopefully. Hopefully, because otherwise if the server answers first we are a bit fucked, but no, but it's perfect, it's perfect. We call this thing receive dialog menu message on client. So talk interaction. So we need to go in our talk interaction, which is called by who? By this guy. Talk interaction UI click. Is speaking with NPC bubbles? Yes. Is speaking with NPC bubbles. Talk interaction. Okay, so I think that here we call this. I need to put a comment, otherwise I will never remember again. Also when I look at this code, so I need to put a comment here, which is we open anyway the NPC chat window, assuming as we can, because we can use free text. And then we are waiting, so the server will then populate with quest with quest options if available. Okay, so I think we just do this. We just force it to be open. Now the NPC we need though. The NPC is a PS character object. I think we can connect this one. Yes. And the dialog menu will be empty. I hope it doesn't mess up anything else, but this will be empty, so this will be set as empty, and means that then when we set up the bubbles, this cycle will be empty, so this for loop will do nothing. and we'll just set up the standard buy and trade bubbles. I think it's good. I think it's good. I think it will work. Do you believe that or not? Hello, people. So we actually had yesterday a good number of Twitch people joining, but leaving. I mean, joining and leaving, joining and leaving, joining and leaving. I checked the stats. They were like joining and leaving. So we had a bit more, you know, just a bit more, but not enough. Not enough. I mean, at the end, my purpose is to develop the game, okay? It's not to become popular on Twitch or on YouTube. But, you know, if we have more guys, maybe between them there is a developer, you know? So that's the point. And maybe that developer is interested in helping us. And this means that we make the game faster and we make the game better. So the number of people that we get on the stream is directly related to the speed at which we will release the next versions. Believe it or not. You should believe it. Okay, now I'm expecting the window to pop up. Actually, the window will pop up because we did it manually. So we asked, you know, the client to pop up the freaking window. So it must pop up. If it doesn't pop up, I don't know, but it will pop up. Yes. Now this situation is a bit of a weird situation because I'm behind a counter. And I'm thinking we should do this differently maybe, because like this is looking like shit. Apart from the fact that I have merchant like 3 times written on the screen, I don't know why. I mean, the only one that I wanted is this one, but for some reason I have 3. Because this is the one when I click on it. This is the one that I have when I think I have the bar at the top where I'm in combat mode. And it is actually the only one that I wanted. But now I can say hi to this guy. And he says, hello friends, greetings. Was that sound generated by me? Like, was the sound associated to the hello? He said go away. But anyway, he's speaking. I don't see the chat bubble though, but... Hi, what can I do for you? So he's actually... okay, let me see if he's using... Is KA and the general KA. Is KA, I think yes. Well, let me see the triggers. So this is the merchant. I should be able to ask him to train something. Train. I will train you. Yes, he's actually working. So he's answering to the basic, to his own thing, and he's also answering to this. So I think we are good on that. I will say thank you for 11 trias. Wow. Okay. And we can say bye. Now, this NPC is in a bit of in a weird spot. So as you can see, when we speak with him, the camera goes like super weird because we have this table in front of us. So we still need to decide what to do when we are speaking with an NPC, you know, and what we could do, we could remove everything and just have the NPC in a kind of an empty window, you know. So just... The problem is that you will not be able to see the background anymore. But we could have him, you know, like on the left of the screen with nothing else and just his answers. Also, I don't think he's like, if I do like this, I think that it will be even worse because I will be here. But I don't think that this box is anything that people can understand. What is it? You know, it's just an empty box. How can people understand that they can type something into it? I think we need to say something on top, or and trade is opening the trading window. Okay, but at least we fixed that bug. I mean, it took a lot to understand why. It took me like 1 hour to understand why, but I was very confused about the way it was working. But when I got how it was working, I think we fixed it in like 10 minutes or 5 minutes, right? So I think now it's good. Huh? So now the question will be, is our random NPC able to answer something? I think the answer at the moment is still no. I think the answer unfortunately is still no, because there was that bug. At the moment there is no one there, but since I am in proximity, somehow, some way, it will appear, and it is. If I try to speak with him, now the things pops up, and if I say hi, yes, it's not working. Okay, and that's expected, huh? That's expected. That's expected because the server crashed or no? No, the server didn't crash, but it cannot answer at the moment because there is a piece of code that is missing. There is a piece of code that is missing. Okay, but it is very good because it means that actually I didn't fuck up anything with my changes. So I was a bit worried, you know, that I did some changes that fucked up the NPC dialogues, but actually no. And it's a very, very good news. So now what we want to do to have this guy actually speak to us. I mean, answer to our so because we have in our script, in our random event script, between the various things, we also have the generic KA. No, the IDLA basic. IDLA basic doesn't exist, by the way. IDLA basic does not exist. The server should tell me though. Huh? I don't think it exists, right? No, there is no IDLA basic. So there is something that we need to check, so that if the script is specifying something that does not exist, we should bail out. We should not allow. Which is here, right? The problem is that I don't know if we already loaded, at this point we already loaded the other KA. So how do I check if this KA exists? I think in our dict I probably have find knowledge area, and I think I can find it by name, right? Perfect. One thing that is easy. Thank you. And this thing is returning a boolean. Perfect. So if this knowledge area is not existing, we will bail out. We will say bye-bye. Because we want this to exist. So we will print out an error. Error in random event script, blah, blah, blah. KA does not exist. And I can say KA %s, and we can say KA name. Okay. So let's recompile it like this, and we see that it gives the error, and then we change it to... Now, I think the NPC at the moment can answer to the knowledge areas. Yes, to the knowledge area, it should be able to answer. What it should not be able to answer yet is the specialized answers. On the open road? What do you mean by the open road? Means that we are again in trouble, or or what? I think we can remove this for now. Did he give the error? Yes. KA, you see, this is the error he's giving. Error in random event script 1, KA basically does not exist. And he bails out. Okay, good. So, perfect. So he's giving the error, is not loading the event. Okay, so now we will put something that instead actually exists. Okay, so we will go in here and we are putting in random events knowledge area like general, which is we said general. What he has? He has a greetings. How are you? Goodbye. Can we do something different like? Winch up, winch down. We can do merchant, okay, which is accepting the train command, so we see that it's different. So let's do merchant. Let's do merchant. Okay. And then there are these ones, you know, which are the one that I want to add custom. These are the custom answers of the NPC. And we can have as many as we want. We can fill 3 pages with that, is no problem. The number of answers is not a problem. Now, should we try also to fix the no, maybe let me first see that it works with the default. Okay. I want to see if he answers to the train. And to the train, I think he will. There should be no reason why not, but even if it's custom code that we added for it, I think he's kind of safe. And it should work. But it's already a good test, because it means that the NPC in his brain has some specific new knowledge. That it was not existing before the event spawned. Okay? Okay, out of trouble. Okay. I was thinking it was trouble again. Open like going nowhere, but no, open road meaning that we have a road. Okay. Okay, he's here already. As you can see, his aspect, I mean, at least the race is randomized, so every time is kind of different. I mean, he's not correct, but... So if we say train... You see? He says, I will train you. So his answer is, I will train you. Okay. So that's very good. It means that he can answer to the general... I mean, to the already existing knowledge areas. Now... Which is what I was expecting, but it's always better to test. Now, the problem are the specific areas. The specific areas are a kind of a mess. But... let me see if we can have that. I think I have a function which is called setup dialogue for event. Okay, so there is the function that is setting up the dialogue for the specific event, and by the way, here I forgot to load the responses, huh? And it is already a point for sure. Dict. So we should have a load response. Load responses, no? Why? It is kind of weird. Because probably is protected. Probably is protected, so I need to make it public. That's probably the reason. Because there should be no other reason. Load responses, yes. Also this one I need to make. I need to make it public. Okay. After I made that public, I should be able to call it now. I mean, Visual Studio will think about it, but anyway, it's there, I tell you. So we will go with load responses, true, because we are coming from our custom event setup dialog, and we want to pass in specific responses, right? Now at this point, I think we can enable this and see what happens. Even if we tested it before and we have seen that, unfortunately, this thing was returning null, so we need to go here and check why this comparison is not working. So it's like if my triggers have not been loaded properly. Huh? It's like if my triggers have not been loaded properly. In theory, we should see another loading triggers. Huh? Yes, there should be another printout saying loading triggers. Okay, let's try like this. Let's compile it, run it, and see. Basically, in this part of the code, we are doing the link between the trigger, which is, for example, hi, and the response, which is hello, right? And only for the events we have the assumption that trigger and response have the same ID, which is anyway acceptable. I mean, we have set it up this way. It's a bit of a trick, but it's not a dangerous trick. is an acceptable trick. I think I should rebuild this PC one day, but I don't know. It's been installed a long time ago, and I think the Windows is like, you know, Windows is like a collector of garbage sometimes. So it's, you install stuff, and then when you remove it, it's not really removed. Okay, we have an error somewhere. Load responses instead of response, yeah. Okay, succeeded. I think it will still crash here, because it was crashing before, and I think it will still crash in this point. But we need to understand why and fix it. Wow, it's already midnight? Holy moly, why time flies so quick? Really? It's already midnight? Or close to midnight? Wow. But I started a bit later, I think. I started at like 15 to 10. I mean, 15 minutes to 10 or something like that. I need to start at 9, but I never able to start at 9. Okay, the server is up, so let's connect with the client and generate the event, because that thing is gonna happen only when the NPC is spawning. And when the NPC spawning is loading his brain. And when he's loading his brain, he's also loading his knowledge. And he's loading also these responses and triggers. I think that the only way is to regularly, every, I don't know, 2 or 3 years, to just reinstall Windows from scratch. I think is the... And then reinstall the programs that you are using at that time, you know? Because sometimes you install stuff and then maybe you remove it, but it's never removed fully by Windows. So always, there is always some stuff in the registry, some stuff in the temporary files, some stuff under systems, some stuff under local. I mean, it's not able to actually clean properly, you know, an installation. So okay, so we wait that he spawns, and when he spawns, we will get our breakpoint, right? So we will get this trigger, and then we need to see why this dict find trigger is not finding our trigger. So this trig will be null, I think, right? So this is the problem we are having. Yes, this trigger is null. This trigger is null. There is a problem though. So he's trying to find a trigger with area 90051. Trigger ID is not relevant, I think, and then the actual trigger text is high and the prior response is 0, right? So for some reason it's not able to find that. Now we actually created our triggers here. And you can see that this is actually exactly the same information. So, or we messed up something here. So let me try to see. Let me try to redo this, right? And see if we messed up something. Hopefully we did. Come on. We can close the client anyway because it timed out. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, Visual Studio decided that it was not a good idea. I just asked them to go through this function. Should we kill him? Kill it and okay, it did it. It did it. It just took a bit. I don't know why, but it took like forever, and then it did it. So we are trying to get into this function. Yes, loading triggers. Let me see if it in the log, because we should have another loading triggers, huh? Before doing it again. Yes, it's actually saying loaded one trigger and loaded one response. So adding KA 90051. Warning, word high in trigger high is already a synonym for greetings. I understand. So it's saying that we are adding something that is kind of double, you know? So it's already in another, the high is already in another knowledge area and probably is in the, no, but I don't think there should be a problem though. So let me see, it should skip this, it should go here, it should do, total trigger should be 1 because there's only one guy, yes. Trigger count, okay, 0, it goes through one element, it generates a new trigger, is calling trigger load with this information. Now let me check if this is actually as we want, but I think so, but let me just double check. So we are getting the ID, which is 50050, the area, which is 90051, trigger text is high, prior response is 0. Yeah, all seems to be great. All seems to be good, boys. So why is failing? So the load result is true. The trigger will be set as 50050. Yes. Which is the same ID of the response, by the way. And then we're gonna do this another time, which is always confusing me a bit, but okay. I don't know exactly why we are doing this again, but we are, so I guess there is a reason. Here is where it's giving the warning, but I don't think this warning... It is giving the warning that hi is already a synonym for greetings, but... I mean, we can try to change it. I mean, we can, in the next run, we can change it as... We can change it as greetings, okay? But I don't think that is the problem. Now, we are trying to find the specific knowledge area. Okay, now in this case, I think it will find it, yes. Now, it's trying to check if it is an equal trigger. In that case, just trash this new one. Triggers. So let me see if he finds it here. Ah. He found it now. Here is actually able to find it. Prior response is -1 though, eh? Prior response is -1. Interesting. Interesting. In our case, it was actually 1. I mean, it was 0. I think in our case, yes, that is the problem. That is the problem. Okay, so or we force it to be -1 at loading, or we change it here. I think we should force it -1 at loading. Let's force it -1 at loading. So meaning. I'm always wondering how I can navigate through these millions of lines of code, but I don't know. In fact, sometimes I'm very lost, but so we are loading it in the specific knowledge, which is NPC type, variables, merchant. Here it is. So this prior response should be -1. Always -1. Because it's not applicable to us in this case. Now, this can be a fix me, you know, in case we want, but it will be very hard to do in a event created on the fly. It'll be very hard to do. Okay, let's recompile it and see if this fixed our problem. Maybe yes. And I never seen that you can hover on the line and it's giving you a kind of a picture of where you are in the... Wow. Interesting. I never did that. Okay, we are starting it again, and now hopefully it will find the trigger. Now, if it finds the trigger, it should be able to answer to hi. Taking it from this. And by the way, the nice part is that it's already using the underlying system, So if I say hi, or if I say greetings, or if I say hello, right, is already, it will work anyway, you know, because he's using the aliases and all the parsing, that we do for synonyms and other stuff. So that will be good. So I think that while it's loading, let me just add this to let me just add this to because I think anyway. Set the traits. I think we do it. I don't know if it's perfect, but we do it. Set the keepman items, we do it. Set the loot, we have to test it. Set the KKA, we do it now. Pom pom pom. Oh, by the way, I was checking, we are at the stream number 260. 260 is quite a number, eh? 260, if you consider that the stream is roughly 3 hours. Is a lot of stuff. Okay, it didn't crash. It didn't crash. That's very, very good. That's very, very good. Hello, man with broken face. Yes, your face is fucked up, I know. It's my fault. Don't worry. We will fix it one day. Okay, so now I want you to answer to hi. Fuck, it didn't. It didn't. He's still answering to train, I guess. Yes. He's not answering to hi. He's answering to greetings. Making progress, huh? Making progress. Slowly but surely making progress. He's not answering at all. He's not answering to my freaking greetings. Why? Maybe he's randomizing between 3 and 5. No, he's not answering. Okay, he's not answering. Fuck. I hoped he could do. I mean, I never tested that part of the code, so you know, if he runs the first time, is a bit of an exception, but so set up dialogue for event. So what we do, we load the trigger, we load the responses, we push the response ID to the trigger, and in theory this should be enough, right? This should be enough, but for whatever reason is not enough, right? So we need to understand when we are saying hi, why is not finding it. Now where is the code? Where is the code that is answering to my questions? I need to find. Where is it? Should be in dictionary somehow, no? Or it should be no. I think it's inside NPC dialogue because it's specific to the NPC. So it should be under PS NPC dialogue. And yeah, should be find response. Now I don't know if it's this one. Yeah, but I think it should be this. It should be this function here, find response. And this one is gonna search through the knowledge areas. And yes, exactly. And here we should see if by the way, there is a log, so maybe he logged something. Let me check the log because we're already printing some stuff, I guess. No. And the problem is that I waited too much and now there are all these NPC falling down. Let me try to remove 1 second this and say hi again. Hi. And see if in the log we get anything useful. Wow, we get a lot of stuff. We get no trigger found. Okay, so here is checking. You see it's checking. So he knows that I said hi. He's trying to understand what hi means, and he understands that hi is actually meaning greetings. Okay. And so he's checking for this guy for the trigger greetings. With last response equal to 42, but that is not really meaningful to us. He's searching it. Okay, this will never work. I understand. This will never work because we didn't add the knowledge. You see where he's searching? He's searching in Melareson area, which is himself, and he's searching it into the merchant area, which is good, but it's not enough because these two areas are the ones that are part of the basic knowledge areas, but we are speaking about the specific answer that we added only for him, right? And these are on top. So we need to add our new area, which is the 90 or whatever, so which is randomly generated to his knowledge area, so he will find it. Now I'm a bit surprised that we didn't do it yet, because I was expecting that to actually be done, but probably is not. No, we are not doing it at all. We are not doing it, so we have to do it. So we need to add the specific KA with the specific KA to the KA of the NPC. To the NPC, let's say. This one we are not doing, so we need to do. Now, how to do it? It should be very easy because we should just do this, and then here we need to place our randomly generated do we have it or no? In theory is here somehow. In theory. Where do I have the knowledge area ID that I generated myself? Well, I should have it in trigger area. Yes. I have it in trigger area for sure. I have it in triggers area, so I can do this dot. We need to quit because dot area. Come on, you can do it. No, wait a second. Specific trigger of 0. We can take the. I mean, we assume there is at least one, right? We assume there is at least one. No, we need to know if there is at least one. We cannot assume this, otherwise it will crash when there is nothing. So we say if specific trigger.num is greater than 0, then we add the specific KA of, and it is dot area. Area. Okay. I think this will do, because now it will search for the additional. Basically, I don't know how to explain you, but yeah, I think I can explain you easy. So these were the behaviors, okay? They went into the brain. Now, actually in the brain, we also had other stuff going in, and in particular, two things. One is another piece of brain, right? Another piece of brain and another piece of brain. This guy has a lot of brain. And this one is the knowledge, right? There is the knowledge of the common areas, let's call it, right? And we added him the merchant common area. And then we have another knowledge, which is this one, which is the specific, let's call it specific knowledge, right? Specific knowledge. And this one, which at the moment is super simple, it's just saying hi, but it can be anything else, right? And this specific knowledge is just created for this guy. So I was adding this information to the brain, but not this information to the brain, right? And yeah, so now this is done, and this, I don't know, I can flag it green, but we still need to see if it works, but I'm confident. One failed. Okay. Okay, want just the conversion to TCHR because it's annoying. Just because it's annoying, but we do it anyway. Okay. It's time to be late, boys. I see you are slowly reducing. We have less and less people watching, but it's okay. It's okay. I mean, my goal would be to have at least one new follower per stream, at least one. Some streams we get like 2 or 3, some stream we get 0. Like this stream, we got 0 new follow. Pity. Very, very pity. But again, it's okay. Our purpose is making the game. Right? Okay, the server I think is up. So I think that now our NPC will answer to hi. I have this feeling. I have the strong feeling it will answer to hi. Now, one thing that we need to say is that our specific knowledge area is actually added at the bottom of the list, and so is the other common knowledge area taking precedence, which is not that good. So we may maybe in the future want to change that. Hello, man. You look like the guy that was here 1 second ago. Is it you again? Let me see. Okay, we have a bit of a breakpoints here, but we don't need them. Let me see if you answer too high. Okay. Fuck. It didn't. Why it didn't? No! That is so strange. You see, now he's searching. Now he's searching in the right area, which is 90051, which is the random one that we created for him. So this one is you know, a random one. And actually, he found the response. Ah, but you know what? I think I know why. If I do it again, and I do it again, no. Because at the moment we are passing in only 2 responses. He says found response to greetings. Why is not sending it to me? He found it. Come on, bro, you can do it. Why you are not sending me back the thing? But I mean, he actually found the answer. He actually found. You know, he said, how are you? Setting last response to 50050, how are you? That is exactly correct. And before it was something else, but it was how are you here, and it was like hello here, which was yeah. So why doesn't send it back to me? Why it doesn't send it back to me? That's very strange, because in theory there is no difference between this one train. You see, train is answering I will train you. There is no difference between this one and this one in his point of view. But probably there is a difference. Probably there is a difference. There is a difference. There is a difference. Why there is a difference? I don't understand. Why find response, right? So the outcome of this, right? The outcome of this should be the same. Ah, wait a second. Response type. Maybe I did not set the response type. Let me check here. Let me check if I say hi. Response. Please. Response type is 0. Response type is 0. If I say train, response type is 0 as well. Okay. So it's not this, huh? So why is not returning? I think we can check, we can just follow the world thing. So let's say hi. He says found response is what is doing? He say found response is setting the trigger text to this, is updating, he's breaking, he's going out, he's returning the response, and he's saying found response, and he's saying current player should be valid, yes, and setting last response is doing all of this, yes. Yes, yes. Yes. And then he's saying we found what we are looking for, right? So we are returning the proper response, which is nice. Now we are returning this, and we are returning this. And if we found the response, we are actually sending it out, yeah. So why is not working? So we are executing, what is this? Response, execute script? No. Execute script delay? What is this thing? Delay is 0. If delay is different than -1, okay, which in this case is because delay is 0, and response menu, no, response menu is null. Okay, so this is why we are not doing it. We are not doing it because for some reason our response is not complete, is missing this freaking menu. Response menu. Response menu. Yes, response menu is null, so it's not valid. Response menu is not valid. So probably I'm not setting up the response fully for some reason. I'm not setting up the response fully. I'm missing something on the response. I mean, there is the text, but the text is not enough. I don't understand this menu, where it's coming from, or what is it. Let me see if we are lucky and there is a description. Menu, list of possible player triggers, replies for this response for displaying to the player. When this is getting built? When this is getting built, and why we need this, by the way. But okay, this is probably getting built. I think I have an idea. It's probably getting built in the load. Because I created a new function, which is load for event, which is kind of a simplified version. And I think that my simplified version is missing some stuff. Wow, this song. But I don't see it setting the menu here. Response name, audio response, voice path, him, her, blah blah blah. Type valid response, but this one I copied it. Quest ID, no. If quest ID is string script test, no. Prerequisite, parse prerequisite. And then parse response script. Maybe this one, if it's empty, is doing something anyway. If this thing is empty, new say response, respond false. Holy shit, what is this? Do you think is doing something with this? I don't know. The question is, where is the response set in the menu? Because it seems that the difference is the difference seems to be I mean, is the difference really the menu or not? Because maybe it's not, huh? Respond, right? So we have found that respond was the one that we wanted, right? No, it's not here. I need to execute it again because I lost the point where we were having the check. There was this point where we were having the check for check NPC event. Probably is this one. Wait, I think I can find it. Check NPC. Ah, is here. Okay. Ah, we are still there with the debugger, by the way. Yeah, but this response menu needs to be true, otherwise this will never work, okay? So now the question is, who is generating the menu for our response, right? Who is generating this freaking menu? I think it should be inside. I don't think it's here. I don't see it here. Should be inside of this. Should be inside of this, but no, it should be really inside the loading, which is a bit weird though, because NPC dialogue, find response, okay. NPC dialogue, find response. Come on, I need the function. So maybe here we are doing something with this menu. No. Then I don't know where he's set, huh? Dict find response. Okay, probably is inside of this then. Probably is inside of this. Karen block. No? Hey, bro, if he's not here, who is then setting this? Is preloaded? Fuck. So is loaded. Response is find response. So is set. Did you play Warframe? It's a very good game. This music. What is this freaking menu getting set? Menu responses set. So there is somewhere, you know, that we are adding as a default the menu to our response. But if I just check the NPC response class when it's loaded, and we checked it already, okay, let me see if with the train Answer is getting a menu, but probably it is getting a menu. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's getting a menu. But I think I will do it offline. I will do it off stream. I need to find out why. Hello, Sway. This time you jumped late. Okay. So you will get little points. Little point. The good news is that our NPC is actually having also the common knowledge in his brain and the specific knowledge in his brain. So we loaded, so he can actually answer our questions. But we are still missing a small piece. And for some reason, he is not sending back the answer to us. So he found the right answer, but is not sending it to us. And the reason is that there is a missing piece of information, which is this freaking menu. Which, by the way, should be... that menu concept should be completely removed. Is the server up or not? No, it's not up. So why I'm trying to connect? I mean, it was not running. It was like on hold. It was like on hold. I think we should release a new alpha soon. I'm starting to get the feeling that I need to do it. Okay, so let me try the train. Let me remove these things because we don't need it anymore. If I do train, I know his face is fucked up, huh? If I do train, we should arrive. No. If I do train, in theory we should, huh? Come on, go. Go, my friend. He's not here. He will time out. He will time out. Yeah, he will time out. He crashed? Holy fuck. Yeah, because because it timed out. Okay. Well, yeah, the server should not crash though. That is not good, huh? It's like if the player disconnected at a very, very bad time and the server was trying to send him a message and he actually crashed. But that's bad. I mean, it should never happen. I mean the thing. I mean, the engine should do it by himself, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, let's try again. What I want to see if the train has the menu, but I'm like 99.9% that he has it. Now the question is who the hell created it and why my other response doesn't have it. Alright, so that's the two questions that we need to answer. But if I don't find it in the next 10 minutes, I think I will go to bed and think about it tomorrow. Come on, man, you can do it. Nice. You can do it. Okay, we are in. I want to speak with this guy. Also, this one we don't need anymore. These are all breakpoints that we actually fixed already. Hello. So if I say train, okay, I arrive here, yes. I can remove this one, I guess. Oh, but now I'm fucked, okay. I need to do it again. Okay. Okay, is here. Actually, the check I wanted to do is here. And response menu is null. Okay. Okay. Response menu is null also for train, so it's not here that is doing the thing. What? No, I don't believe it. Is in the script, maybe? I mean, for sure we are missing something. The problem is what we are missing. The problem is what we are missing. Do we have a script on it? Yeah, actually we have a script. We have a public say respond. There is something happening. Okay. So I think is okay. So I think is the. Wow, we are creating a script just for a response, huh? Wow, this software is insane. This software is like crazy. So I think it's probably this then. I think it's probably this, which by default, if the thing is empty, is adding the minimum, which is a say command with the response in it. Please, you have to go in the same class. Yes, here it is. You see it? You see this one? So I think, okay. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. We can do the same. We can do the same in our special event here. I can quit. And I can stop the server. And in our load for event, we can say this. And we can put, at the moment, an empty string, because anyway we don't have a script, right, for our but this one I think will be generating, it will generate the script that is sent back to the NPC. Interesting. There is a part of the code that I didn't do myself back in the days. Someone else did it and I never investigated it too much, but it's interesting the way it works. I think is yeah. I really would like to do, I really would like to be on a real engine with everything that we did in the old game, and then start to change the code for the better, because there are some parts of the code which are absolutely needed, to absolutely need a refresh or a change. Because, for example, this menu idea was because in the past we had text. I mean, you can speak to NPC in the chat, and there was no clicking. You couldn't click on a specific bubble and send the answer to the NPC. So everything was done by typing, which for some reason some people really liked, but others really hate. And so we introduced the menu system. The menu system is basically the way to have a bubble where you click and you select a certain answer, instead of just typing it. And this is why it's called menu. And this is why it's kind of an option, But it should not be an option anymore today. So today this should be the only way. And so all the code that is relying on working without menu, it should just disappear. So, and that should be a cleanup really that we need to do. But first, we need to be, 100% on the new version and having ported 100% of the functionality. Come on, if I say hi, what do you say back? You say how are you? Good job, Melaris on Barrel. Good job. If I say greetings, what do you say? You say hello. Good job. Okay, so yes, he was missing one piece in the load for event thing. Okay. So I think we made good progress. Now I need to understand exactly where we are and how much and what we want to do next. But let's say that I'm setting the traits. Yes. I'm setting the equipment and the items. Yes, because as you can see, our NPC, incredibly enough, has an axe in his hand. Okay. And the other good news is that whenever we will improve the models, all the code that I'm writing will work exactly as it is, so I will not have to make any change. GG! And GG! And what? And yeah, so that is done. That is the setting equipment is done. Setting the loot, I don't know. At the moment, this guy is a category 22. I can try to kill him. Do you think that kill NPC is working? You cannot kill a player. Okay. Because because probably the kill NPC is searching on the database, and this NPC does not have a database entry because it's created on the fly. So this is something that we need to... I can try to kill him, but I think it will take me forever because my character has very low stats. I can cheat a bit. I can say set skill me X 200. And I have an axe in my hand, so maybe this will help a bit. It's still dodging though. It's still dodging, but I think it's because this is the dummy database. In the dummy database we have silly... Wow, I did 250 damage with one hit. Okay, so the axe buff kind of helped. He's not fighting back because I'm invisible for him. Okay, I killed him. So in theory... Fuck, he disappeared immediately. I cannot loot him. Fuck. Okay, I don't know. The loot we need to check. I need to fix the death animation. I don't know why he disappeared immediately. He should have lasted a bit, but... I think he will try to respawn, which by the way is wrong. He should not respawn. The loot, I don't know. The KA, yes, and the specific KA, yes, so this is done. Now, we need still to check the... So randomizing the race is done. Randomizing the name, we have to check it, but I think it's done. Randomizing the traits, no. Randomizing the equipment, no. Randomizing, I don't know. So I think the name randomization is done. Then yes, we need to check that this guy is not respawning on death. Maybe it doesn't, but check. It doesn't respawn on death. I think it will not anyway, because it doesn't exist in the database, so it cannot read the information. And then we need to spawn the item. I mean, I think at the moment we are already in a kind of a decent shape, so we are able to run the script but there are more things I want to do. I want to do the fade in and fade out, right? I want to do a fade in and fade out. Not animations, but transitions with the material. So I would like that instead of the NPC just popping up like this, which is very bad, I would like him to like fade in slowly, you know? I don't know how to do it, but I think it's something that everyone did it already a million times in Unreal Engine, so I think it will be very easy to do. I think I just need to search something like Something like Unreal Engine, creature, fade in effect. And fading in, fading out. Spawn and destroy, fade in. I think there is a way how to fade material. I think there are a million ways. I think it should not be a problem. Right? And so this means that you will see the monster actually appearing slowly, you know, or like fading in. So like if it's coming out of nothing, which is better, I think, than just popping up in one shot. In the action RPG they do it. Okay, maybe I can check that then. Because they burn out and fade out. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it depends if the particle is completely covering the model. And so, but that is something that we should find out. Okay, I'm gonna go. Thanks for watching. In case you are new, please click on follow on Twitch and subscribe on YouTube. That will be nice. And also we have a Patreon site which is called patreon.com/planeshift, where you can find a bit of the latest videos, updates, and you will get access to the alpha as soon as it's released. Yeah, tomorrow I will try to stream tomorrow. I think I will try. I don't know, depends a bit, but I'm trying to keep a schedule. So good night, see you boys, and have fun. We'll see you soon. Bye bye.